All routes lead to doom. Beta build. Slime Prince Glitched Edition by RimuruEdward6. Chapter 15. Katarina Clay's paw. The magic began to fade. Not suddenly. Not like a spell breaking. It drew back, like the tide, like he was taking it with him. Like he was leaving. Rimuru, I whispered. He looked at me one last time. His eyes weren't glowing anymore. They weren't cold, or angry. They were just sad. The kind of sad that comes from knowing someone would have chosen you, if only they realized in time. He smiled faintly. But I'll leave you, he said quietly, with your fake friends, and Miss Gambles. The air stilled. Goodbye, my farming girl. My heart broke. Because he said it like a farewell, not like a threat. Not like a villain. Like someone who had once smiled beside me in the garden and meant every word. Like someone who had tried to fight fate for me. And just didn't have the strength left to keep trying. He turned, and this time, no one moved to stop him. Not Maria. Not the boys. Not even me. Because I was too stunned to breathe. Too shattered to speak. And then, he was gone. The darkness went with him. The courtyard was still. And so was I. Because somewhere inside me, something had just collapsed. Not a doom flag. Not a magic trap. Just a boy walking away with my heart. Jordo Stewart's paw. The magic was gone. The courtyard had fallen into a strange, hollow stillness, like the aftermath of a battle no one wanted to admit had happened. Katarina didn't move. No one did. We were all still caught in the wake of his words. But mine echoed louder than the rest. Friendship and family are beautiful, if they weren't faking it. You thought you were saving them. But really, they were just waiting for you to pick their side. And then his final goodbye. I'll leave you with your fake friends. He hadn't even looked at me when he said it. He didn't need to. Because I felt it. The sting. The truth. I clenched my fists at my sides, staring at the place where Rimuru had vanished. The others spoke in low voices, checking on Nickel, glancing at Katarina, still frozen where she stood. But I couldn't look at her. Because I knew. He was right. I'd never really given her a choice. I cloaked it in charm. In smiles. In warmth. But beneath it all, I was just as selfish as he had been. I wanted her. Not just as a fiancé. Not as a noble duty. But as mine. And I had been so confident, so certain that eventually, she'd choose me, that I never realized I wasn't truly seeing her. Rimuru had. And even in the darkest version of himself, he still let her go. I swallowed hard, something tight building in my chest. He had walked away. I never could. But now, I wasn't sure if that made me strong. Or just a coward. I looked at Katarina, her shoulders trembling slightly, her eyes locked on nothing at all. And for the first time in years, I didn't know what to say. Because maybe loving someone means stepping back. And I wasn't sure if I was strong enough to do that. Not like he was. Mary Hunt's paw. He was gone. Just like that. No explosion. No spell. No final fight. Just a few words, and the kind of silence that left all of us standing like statues in the garden Katarina loved so much. The same garden that now felt emptier than I'd ever seen it. I should have said something. I should have done something. But I hadn't moved. Not when Rimuru threatened. Not when he hurt Nickel. Not even when he looked at all of us and said, "You didn't listen. You protected her instead of standing with her." Those words had burned. Not because they were cruel. Because they were true. I loved Katarina. I still do. And I told myself I was different, that I saw her clearly. That I stayed close because I understood what she needed. But I didn't ask her. Not really. I just stayed close. Pressed in. Guarded my spot beside her like it was mine to keep. You were just waiting for her to pick your side. He'd meant all of us. And I hated that he was right. I looked at Katarina now, still standing in the same place, unmoving, like she'd been turned to stone. And I saw it. She wasn't just stunned. She was shattered. Not because of Rimuru's magic. Not because of fear. Because she hadn't realized. And now, it was too late. He left to protect her. He became the villain so she'd finally look in the mirror and see what we all refused to. And I didn't stop him. Because I hadn't seen it either. Not until now. I clenched my fists and looked down. It hurt. More than I thought it would. Because I hadn't just lost my place beside Katarina. I'd lost the illusion that I ever truly deserved it. Katerina Clay's paw. The courtyard was quiet, too quiet. The kind that sits in your chest, heavy and echoing, like you're standing in the wreckage of something beautiful you didn't know you were breaking until it was already gone. Everyone was still watching me. I knew it. They wanted me to speak. To smile. To reassure them. But I couldn't do any of that. Because I finally understood. I did this. Not alone. Not on purpose. But through every moment I hesitated, every time I smiled instead of choosing, every time I let love bloom but never gave it direction. I led them here. And I led him here. Rimuru. My friend. My strange, sweet, brilliant prince from another world. The one who listened. Who watched. Who said I mattered when no one else knew how to say it. And now he was gone. Because I let the silence between us grow too loud. I'm sorry, I said. The words fell from my mouth before I knew who I was speaking to. Maybe the boys. Maybe Maria. Maybe myself. I looked at my hands, still trembling. He was right, I said quietly. I've been so afraid of choosing, that I didn't realize I already had. I looked up, and they were all still frozen in place. Every person who'd tried to protect me. Every person I'd tried to protect. I thought, if I just loved everyone a little, I whispered, no one would get hurt. I laughed once, broken and small. But I didn't save anyone. And then I said the words that hurt the most. I didn't even save him. The last thing he called me, my farming girl, still clung to my chest like a wound. Because that was when I knew. He had seen all of me. Even the parts one hid from myself. And he loved me anyway. And I let him walk away. I don't want to be afraid anymore, I said. Then I looked out toward the horizon. And I made a promise. Rimuru Tempest, I'm coming for you. Not as the girl who dodged doom flags. Not as the girl who made everyone smile. But as Katerina Clay's. The one finally ready to choose.